Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Young Living Share class. It's February 7th, 2023. And Bonnie and I are going to recap some of the things that we have been talking about the last couple weeks on moving forward and how to literally work your business in a very comfortable manner, unless you want to do it fast. I do take some notes from when Bonnie and I got together last time. And Bonnie, if you would like to, feel free to start sharing some of the things that you did a couple weeks ago. That you did start.
Well, I remember going and visiting a place called Freedom Ride Farms. Did I talk about that last time? Freedom Ride Farms.
No.
Okay. She takes in like horses that have been abused. She's originally from Alaska, and she takes in horses that have been abused or neglected. She did this in Alaska when she lived there, and now she's come here to Michigan. She's trying to move in. Her husband was in the Army, and this is where they were transferred to. She's trying to move closer to Colorado to be with her granddaughter. But anyway, this is something similar to what I want to do, is have a business where I want more smaller domesticated animals like dogs and smaller animals, maybe goats or something like that, that are abused, or hospice where they're senior dogs, and just have them live out their lives in a more comfortable position rather than in a animal shelter. And I want to connect them with kids or adults who feel abandoned and out of place and not wanted. So I want to show them that love is unconditional, whether it's from an animal or from a human to an animal. That love bond I want them to feel. So that's my main goal, what I'd love to be able to do. So I talked to this woman and got some great information about how I can kind of start.
That's fantastic. And the reason why Bonnie is bringing this up is because this is her niche of what exactly it is that she's, everybody has their specialty in Young Living essential oils. And we've all found that everybody's has that one particular passion. And Bonnie's is animals. And I think that is awesome because we have such a great animal line to share with other individuals. So that I'm glad you got to share that more with us. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
No problem. One of the things that we did discuss was when we were going to get on social media and stuff, because most of the time when you're on there, you're just seeing family and friends and stuff. And we found that if you can actually go in to the search bar and actually run through and type in animals, and then start liking the page. I'm guessing that's, you actually did that already, right?
Right. And yeah, because I've also, what do you want to say, joined different groups. There's one that's called Sky Sanctuary that is for animals that are abused. I don't know where they're located. I need to talk to the Humane Society and figure out how to do in Michigan, how to do foster. And maybe I can foster, just basically saying I want to foster senior dogs that aren't able to be adopted, or dogs that have handicaps or illnesses or whatever. That, yeah, granted, they may need a lot of vet care too, but at least I'll be able to apply some of the oils and see how, our oil line works with them too, which is it's kind of exciting to see how that works on animals.
Absolutely, because you just don't know, and every animal is different, just like every human is.
Right.
So that is very cool. I'm glad you were able to go in and do that also. And I went in with my niche, which is the vitality oils, and I use that with the raw food stuff. So I went through a couple groups, and I just recently this week got approved by them, and I went through the groups and started looking through the stuff and commenting and sharing some stuff. So just recently started doing that. So those people who are watching the replay, just want to let you know, we are just now starting and we're sharing, and these are things that we're just getting going every week. I have a lot of diamond videos that we are personally taking time to watch, and we haven't actually watched any together yet because some of them are really long. But as I was telling Bonnie, I said, I think it's only great is actually watching it on your own time if you so choose instead of together, taking the notes and then coming back and sharing what you've learned and how you implement it into your daily routine that we've gotten together
Right.
doing. And one of the other things I have learned with the social media stuff, if you're out there talking to family and friends, not only working on your niche, but if you're out there doing like likes and hearts and stuff like that, and then commenting at least a good 15, 20 times on different people and doing that, I think it takes a good hour to do that meat and potato, because I've noticed that when I haven't done it, it backs up on me. But
Oh,
doing that is a good thing to do regularly, because the more you're commenting, the more when you do actually post something, like I have finally got a website and I've been taking the videos that we've been educating with, and I'm putting them on the website to share with the people on social media. Well, now that I've done so much commenting and stuff, people are seeing the video, seeing the link.
right.
So it's a repetitive thing to do.
And it helps build up your algorithms or whatever, like you were saying. Yeah. So
Exactly.
it gets you more to the top of the list where people are seeing more. Yeah. And that's what
Exactly.
I need to do. Right. That's what I need to do too, just to get into that niche of my animals and dogs and sanctuaries and things like that and looking. So, yeah.
Yes. So I wanted to bring that up because I knew that that was a core thing that we talked about over the phone. Last time we tried getting together, Bonnie didn't have an internet, so we just did it by phone, and that was okay. But I was like,
And-
well, let's do at least some time of recording. Um,
Ah,
oh, and another thing too, for those who are on here watching, one of the big other nuggets is when you have a personal page that if you want to start sharing more with the young living, figure out either it's Debbie's favorite oils, Bonnie's favorite animals, whatever it would be, create your own like page. So that way, when you have some educational thing from Young Living, you could post those on there, and all of a sudden that attracts people of like minds that love oils to that page, so they can start learning
right,
in a separate area. Um, that was another big deal that I remembered us talking about as well.
right.
And one final thing that I started, and I noticed that I had set it aside, but since Bonnie and I have had some internet issues and it's been a struggle the last couple weeks, and we understand that life happens. I did find your animal PDF and stuff, so we could do a class with that. And I'm going to be doing my Vitality 5 oils class, the main ones. So we could, and we talk about this because we always want that niche of the education of what type of animal products or what type of um, things that are a part of your niche, that like people out there going hunting or whatever, if there's certain oils that do great things out there, that's what we want you to put together so you can educate your niche market. So when you're out there talking to them, if they want to know more, you can send them that video.
Right. Yeah, which is really nice because then it's less work for you. You can punch that in. And then follow up. We talked about following up all the time, how we need to do and be more consistent with that, with sending a link or sending or talking to people and then just following up. Not, I think we also kind of touched base on not taking everything so personal. If they say no, they say no and move on. And then just, they may come back to it at another time. This may not be the best time for them. And then don't lose contact, because you have been going through your contact list too and talking to people, which we talked about, and how you're getting reconnected. And if they don't want to, or you're saying, how do I know you? You know, if they don't want to be connected with you, then that's fine. Let them go. But we have to learn not to take everything so personally. So, but
So
follow
very
up
true.
is a big thing.
Yeah, that was very well spoken. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm I appreciate that reminder because I actually I have been in my own transition of just doing slower paced things for a little bit, and that helped remind me that yeah, I've been working on that because I've been having people stepping up and saying hello. Um, One of the other things too that I want to help remind everyone is when you're doing things consistently every day, something that like so for instance, when I was listening to Monique, um one of the things, she ran ranks fast, just like one of our friends, Laura Pfeiffer. It was amazing. Well, because they spent the time and effort putting in the and watching their team, watching, connecting with them, letting them know, hey, you're close to, getting a free product or ranking up or what have you. Always be tenacious at that part as well. But I really loved, Bonnie, how you brought that up with um not having people feel guilty or not being ready. I have enjoyed more than not the experience of asking someone, are you open or interested in this right now? Would you be open or willing to receive this? If not, no big deal. The ones that are, I add them to the groups. The ones that aren't, no problem. Would you like me to come and visit you in another 4 or 5 months or something? Write it down on your calendar. Hey, this month I'm supposed to be following up with all these people. It's, and since I'm paperless, I have everything on my phone. It's the way it is. Um,
Well, and that's easiest because you have everything in one place. So I mean, you can connect and you can send things right away that you don't have to go looking for all that paper products, which is good.
yes,
Yes.
true.
So,
But I also know that people have some good hard copy calendars that they've opened up. I mean, Laura, I mean, she had a great one. She was writing, doing colors and stuff. I'm like, some people are great at that. That's fantastic. So it's all in what you enjoy and just take that and make it better.
right. Well, and make it yours. Right.
Right. One of the ladies I remember listening to, and this was a long time ago, one of the Diamond Bound retreats that it just dawned on me was people get back with you and they ask questions. Write out that question, seriously. Have a notebook of all the questions, write that question out. And then if you don't know the answer to it, research it and write it out and have that as a hard copy on your email or on your phone or wherever. Have, or even, because more than just that one person
Right.
is going to ask that question, and you'll have a list of all the answers to those. And I thought to myself, well,
Right.
that's working smarter, not harder.
Right, because you know that question is going to come up. If that person asked it, you know it's going to come up again.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I have a tickle in my throat now.
No problem. Do you need a glass of water? Go ahead and do that.
No, I think I'm okay.
Okay, no problem. I keep my beverage nearby too, so I get to
Yeah.
um, I I also got to spend some time with Bonnie before we started and stuff, and both of us have had gone through some time in the last couple weeks, transition wise, of not feeling our best. But the, even though we weren't feeling our best, we at least started thinking about the process of the stuff we had to do. So we were either mentally thinking about it or we were physically doing it. And both of those are huge keys to life. Because if you can mentally lay there and just, even if your body is just tired and stuff, if you can walk through the pattern of the things that you consistently need to focus on and work on, especially maybe a phone call or something, and how you want to better yourself on that phone call. Like, let's talk, ask the question, wait for the response. Most people don't.
Right. And I had just heard, I can't remember who I was listening to, and they said, when you ask a question, you know, don't assume that you're going to know what they say. Just be quiet and let them respond. And even if they don't respond right away, they'll respond. I mean, you're going to be quiet and you're just waiting. And that's the hardest thing to do, is to sit and wait for them to answer. But otherwise, you jump forward trying to answer and assume what they're going to say. And then they get turned off because it's like you're not listening to them. So you need to sit and wait for that response. And I went,
Yes.
oh, that's hard. Ooh, that's hard, because I know I jump in because silence is so hard that people just aren't ready to just wait.
And it's interesting you put it that way, Bonnie, because I have really appreciated more video chats than I do just a phone call, because I can look at them and just lovingly smile at them and wait for their answer, because it could be a good deep one that they're having to think and process and stuff. And there's no harm in just being loving and just going, awesome. So
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
So
And
at
on the
least,
phone, yes, you have no idea what their facial expression looks like. And if they're struggling to answer something like that, my dog, it looks like he wants to bark. Stop.
love it.
If I suddenly mute out, you'll know my dogs are barking.
I know, right? That I'm talking to me. I love it. That's all good. So, in the respect of our time and stuff, I got processing something else I thought, because we have another team leader that is doing this wonderful abundance mindset group on Thursday evenings. And I'm only sharing this with the group because if you are watching the replay, not only do I want you to, if you want to ask or comment back and ask for the links to the diamonds that I have the videos for. Also, if you want to know where all the other business training classes are to get your mind in a better frame of work, please do. Uh, as I was thinking about this, I was wanting to find out from you, Bonnie, since you've been the consistent one, if Tuesdays work good, or do you want to possibly think about switching to Thursday evening before the class? We could just do an hour before so we can focus on that, and then we could do the oils with the mindset book. Because I know that you, go ahead.
Well, I think for me, because I went through the abundance mindset group already. I did that once, so I'm not going through it this time. I am reading going to read the book again, but I'm just not going to do the abundance class. But so I think I would prefer to have just Tuesdays rather
Okay.
than having Thursday large chunk on Zoom. To me, it's hard to do that, even though your frame of mind is already with the oils and the abundance.
Yeah,
It's just hard for me to do a large chunk like that.
not a problem. That's why I was like, I don't care. I didn't bother either way. It was great hearing though that most people on the class last Thursday was Laura did ask if they wanted to do it weekly or bi-weekly, and everyone chose weekly. So I was like, well, that's awesome. Good for
Good.
them. Yeah. So get quite the traction and stuff. And
Good.
as that being said, if you're feeling like when things start feeling and they're flowing faster for you, if you want to do it more weekly, you let me know. Otherwise, we can keep to the other every other, and I'm good with that. So,
Yeah, let's right now just keep it with the every
yep,
other. And like you
yep,
said, we'll just start depending on as the weather gets warmer and I'm able to do more. And now that I have connections with this other lady, I want to talk to her and some
yes,
of the people that she has recommended I speak to too. I want to talk to them. And
yeah,
then once I get that more information, I can share that too.
awesome. Sounds good. So, what are things that you want to be focused on the next 2 weeks besides watching one of the Diamond Calls
Want to
videos?
watch the Diamond Call. I want to start like you, kind of just reaching out to people and just finding out how they are, not necessarily about the business, but just finding out exactly, hey, Steve is coming on.
Yeah.
Just seeing how they're doing and what's up in their life if I haven't talked to them for a while, or even if I have a couple of weeks ago, just find out exactly what's going on and what they're feeling. Because winter, and especially now with February, with Valentine's Day, this is a hard month because you're wanting winter to be done. So I just want to, emotionally, people are going through a hard time, and I just want to
Oh,
see.
yeah. With this weather, everything is like a compilation of like pressure. If they're just not around good-minded oilers like us,
Yeah,
they need help.
they do. I mean, that just because your mind can go so many places in the winter and it's dark. And when I get up in the morning and go to work, it's dark. It's not so dark when I come home as much as it used to be, but the
Ooh,
sun isn't shining. Yeah.
exactly. Welcome, Steve.
Hey, how's everyone?
Good.
Good. How
How
are
are you?
you, Steve?
I'm hanging in there.
That's a good thing. What's
It
new
is a
in
good
your
thing.
life? Steve, what's new in your life?
I'm sorry.
What's new in your life?
Nothing actually. I haven't slept today except for a couple hours, and had to prepare some food to take to a family who lost their mom early this
Oh,
morning. So had the crock pot going all night. Woke up at 5 o'clock after 2 hours of sleep and took care of that, delivered it, and then couldn't go back to sleep. So
I'm
one of those
sorry.
kind of days.
that's a bummer. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
But that's
good
nice that
friends of
you
the family.
Oh, that was nice that you took food to them
Yeah,
and blessed them that way.
well, they deserve it. So went to the funeral after that later at noon. So just really super tired. Look forward to actual sleep later.
Good for you. I mean, was this a sudden surprise?
No, it was ongoing. It just
Okay,
finally culminated.
gotcha. Wow.
So
Well, thanks for coming on tonight.
yeah,
That was
man.
great.
Is this have I missed some. Is this the first one? I don't know.
So I'll give you a quick highlight. Unless, Bonnie, you go for it. Actually,
Well, Deborah and I have tried to get together, and the last time we did one, I think. It was kind of an initial one just to set up stuff. We didn't really talk a whole lot. And then the next one, my internet went out. So we talked on the phone. So now this is kind of the official one.
Okay, good.
So you've joined in at a great time, Steve.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, Bonnie, are you in Michigan?
Yeah, I'm in Michigan.
Okay.
You're in Kentucky, right?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Steve, you have dogs, right?
Yes, 4.
You have 4 dogs. Do
Uh-huh.
you use the oils with your dogs?
I do.
Good. And have you had any reactions from the
No.
oil?
No.
Do you use strictly the animal sense line, or do you use?
No, I use Dyes, I use Stress Away. Of course, some of the Animal Sense line. The ASO, Animal Sense Ointment, if I need it.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I use as a hair gel.
And I've heard that myself, that people have used it as a mousse or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I use several. I diffuse at night, and I leave the door open if they want to get out, and they never do.
I know.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
Yeah, I have found that when I put oils on myself, my dogs will come and they'll lick it off my hands or find it wherever it's on. I put orange in my hair because I heard somebody say it helps take the frizzies away. And I sat down and my dogs got up on the couch and were starting to lick my hair. It's like
take the what away?
frizz, like the little flyaway ends. It'll help with that.
Okay. All right.
wow.
Well,
That's
I don't have
pretty
frizz, but I have 7 cowlicks, so I've got to deal with that.
Yeah. So.
I was just thinking about this, Steve, because I'm not sure. I got to double check. If you both, since you both have my number, could you both please send me your emails, and I'll make sure to send you the diamond links again in there.
Okay.
So that way you
You want
both
me to
can
put it
watch.
in the chat, or like I said, I have like 4 different phone numbers for you, and I don't know which one's correct. I don't know which one to use.
Well,
Try them all, Steve.
how about if I'll put in the chat my email, and so that way you both have it, and then you can send me your emails thereafter from it.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you text me or put in the chat to me your phone number that's accurate and that I can use so I can delete the other ones if I don't need them?
I'll send it to you in text because I'm not sure if opening up the chat while I'm recording is going to show the phone number on the screen.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'll send it to you right away here, Steve.
Yeah, just wait until after.
Okay. For some reason I thought you only had one number of mine, but I only have 2.
So, Steve, what are you looking to do with your business?
Grow.
Like, do you have a special niche or a special, what do you want to say? Just a desire?
Target group?
Yeah.
Not really. It's pretty much anyone I come into contact with for more than 30 minutes or more than a day or a week. I'll always, in some shape or form, bring Young Living up, or they might see me using an oil and ask. I make it a point to use oils in public as often as I can. just in case someone goes, "What are you doing?" or "What's that?" or "What's that smell?" or so on and so forth. And then I can go on from there.
So not really any target audience with per se, just whoever might be interested.
Yeah. I mean, I'm single, and I tried early, 3 years ago, I tried to um, attract men into the business, and I had success with a couple guys, but that's when you had to buy PSK,
Okay.
and they weren't really interested in doing all that, and you couldn't just buy a single oil unless I got it and walked it to them or drove it to them. And so I made up a special package that they could get involved for far less than $160. And one guy took advantage of it, but I could never get him to turn the page and become a member.
Have you
So
talked to them recently?
no, the one guy in question, he moved, and I haven't spoken to him since.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
Do you have a particular like hobby that you love besides your animals?
Golf when I can afford it.
Really?
Music. I'm a percussionist, a
Ooh,
singer, songwriter, pianist, and so yeah, those three things.
you're very musically inclined. Wow.
I hope so.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the reason why, go ahead, Bonnie.
No, I was just gonna ask him if he played like at church or played other places besides, in his house.
Yeah, I play not very often. My church has two drummers, so one of them was a former student.
Oh,
I started teaching when I was 16 and still do today. But I don't want to step on toes. But if they need me, they know they can call me, and I'll just sit in. Um, I played 2 weeks ago at a bar in Nashville, and that was a sit-in kind of thing. The guy that was supposed to play had a broken leg, so it's kind of hard to play drums with a broken leg.
that's
So
awesome, Steve.
thanks.
I learned so much about you tonight.
I am too. Wow, I didn't know you played in Nashville a couple weeks ago. That's pretty cool. Did
Yeah,
you record it?
yeah. Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure some people in the audience did, but I haven't seen anything like that.
That's great.
And I
What was
have,
the
several former students. One's in a band in Nashville called Big Jim Slade. Another guy is in a band in Lexington called 9 Pound Hammer. Um, two other guys that live in Oklahoma and one in Texas. And they have their own bands, so these are guys I taught when they were in high school, and still stay in touch with them and that kind of thing. So
Honestly,
fabulous?
that is awesome. I think you found your niche. That is just, there's got to be something of some type of a package of oils that can help people. I mean, lemon oil for the definitely drinking, the vitality oil for the
Right.
clearing of the throat, just saying. But there's got to be, I mean, orthospore for the hands to use the instruments, all those sorts of things. I mean,
right.
seriously, Steve, I'm seriously going to help find some of those type of things because my family is very musically inclined too. I I'm the singer person, but that's about, or ringing the bells, but that's as far as I go. But that sounds like you have a lot more people that you talk with about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I do my best. I try, but in the heat of the moment, you're playing a gig. Before everyone's focused on the gig, and afterward, everyone's focused on getting the heck out. And there's not a lot of time in between. So, but there's a woman, Young Living, golly, 4 or 5 years ago, Francesca something. That ring a bell with either of you guys?
The
What's the
name does,
last
but
name?
Her name is Francesca. I don't remember her last name, but she's Young Living. She's an opera singer, and she did a Facebook post / live about what she uses before she performs. And one of the main ones was frankincense rubbed on her neck. So I
Is
thought that was pretty neat.
yeah,
And
does
I
that
shared that with a friend here in Princeton. And she ended up buying a bottle of frankincense through me and used it. And, she sings Christian ballads and she plays out in bars and stuff too. And, it was very helpful for her. And then we kind of lost contact. So,
hmm. But, hmm. Is she involved with Young Living, you said?
say it again.
Is she involved, you said, with Young Living?
No. She just
Okay.
bought that. She just got that bottle of frankincense, asked me to get it for her and I did. And so that was that. But she did use it and she did stay in touch with me about, how it worked and how it helped and
That's
so on and so
awesome.
forth. And,
yeah.
I tried to get her involved, but she didn't have any interest.
Well, and it's funny because like you said, with those two guys, I mean, now that we have where you can build your own order to begin with, it'd be
Yeah.
nice to get in contact with them again and say, hey, you can build whatever you want, whatever you
Yep.
need, and I'll help you with it, but which is nice. So what kind
I
of
agree.
music do you play, Steve?
I don't like to play country, but I can. Jazz standards, Cole Porter, that kind of thing. You know, songs from the 40s, 30s, and 40s, 20s,
Ooh.
30s, and 40s.
Wow.
I can play rock if I need to, not any thrash or anything like that, but like 70s rock, Eagles, Steve Miller, Dan Fogerty, on and on and on and on. So,
Hmm.
I
I, wow. I'm thinking my mind is racing with all the different ideas to think about to help him out of finding his. I mean, you could put like your own video, your own audio of your songs about oils and what they do and different things and intertwine them. I'm thinking, you got such a creative. Oh my gosh, this is awesome, Steve.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
to help people, I mean, if you were teaching them lessons, help them with their fingers. I mean, the frankincense for their throat, the singing, stress away to calm them down before they go perform. I mean, you've got a huge target audience. That's awesome.
well, if I got to do it more, it would be a huge target audience, but it's few and far between.
Well, still,
So,
I mean, you can still get on like different musicians' Facebook pages and start, just posting here and there what you do, and you never know.
that's
what
true.
might come of-
That's true.
I
So I
mean,
mean,
it's your passion, Steve. Seriously, with what you just shared. I mean, it's like you weren't even thinking about it. It was like your heart was singing through the voice of just, oh, this is what I do. Oh, it's nothing. And I'm like, no, it's something. That's a gift.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. And I think we needed to harness that and help you wrap your ideal mind around it, because the more you get into sharing that gift and being around other musician type people, you could create something that's bigger than you ever thought.
Yeah, because you've got musicians, whether they're big time musicians or even just musicians who are starting out trying to make their name known. Just the oils that will help them relax. I mean, because it's stressful, help them relax, help them do their best to not be stressed out on a bus touring everywhere. And I think you got a huge audience to talk to. I mean, just like I said, get on any Facebook page with musicians of any type, and people are scrolling all the time to find solutions, especially when you're not posting anything that's narcotic or alcohol, anything that's going to get them deeper into a depression. You've got something that's going to help them ninja. I mean, even to
Right.
help them with the energy to go through the nights that they go through.
That's true.
Steve,
Yeah.
harness this.
What?
I want you to harness this and take it on the road. Let's go. You need to stay on this group and we're going to help push you.
All right. Well, sounds like a plan, Stan.
No, really, I think this would be awesome for you.
I think we just, I'm like, this was like a wrap gift. We just put it all together for Steve. This is awesome. I'm glad you popped on because we
I am
found
too.
I'm gonna send out the information to both of you after we get done with the call. In a couple weeks, Steve, we're gonna be back on, and I'll send you the link of the first two ladies that I've actually watched already. And if you're able to just get to the first one, that's okay. And then we'll rehash on what you learned and what you were able to apply. And I'm gonna send you the replay of this. And so you can rewatch it and stuff of all the different things we talked about. It's just to get started. But Bonnie really just did help give you an overall ideal cover of what we've been just starting to do. So
Okay.
congratulations.
Thank you.
So, yeah, so Steve, we meet every other Tuesday
Okay.
at like 7 o'clock. But
6:45.
6:45. Yeah, I came on late, very late. But anyway, I think you should check out Facebook pages, of musicians, even, Christian artists and stuff too. Something like,
Yeah.
or even churches who have choirs, people that get stressed out if competitions, choir competitions or whatever.
Right. Well, that's really sad because in my area, choirs ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of churches. No, I know what you're saying because there aren't a lot of churches that have choirs anymore.
Yeah, it's due to COVID.
Yep.
I don't know why now that they're holding on to that, but yeah, it's really sad, and I'm not involved with the church because there's not a choir. I'm still a member where I've been a member for 50 years, but there's no choir, so I don't really go there. I just walk across the street.
Did they used to have a choir? And are
Oh
there
yeah.
Okay, are there still the members that used to sing there?
Say it again.
Are there still the members that used to sing in the choir still attending?
There are a few. I don't know which ones they are. Like I said, I haven't really been back. I've been back once, and that was on a Wednesday night.
Okay. Only reason why I ask is because I have found that if you have a passion for music and stuff, don't let the place that is not something they're doing anymore. Find the people, have them, and if you can find a community building or somewhere where you can just either just go and sing at when it gets warmer, sing out in the church parking lot. because I know where you live. So that's why I could say this.
Yeah.
But otherwise, finding places where you can bring those people back together to enjoy because I would love to have been able to do that, because I used to sing in the church choir all the time, and singing in harmony with a group of people, it's the most joyful experience. It gives me goosebumps all over.
Indeed, it is.
Yeah.
So don't say you can't. Just find a way that you can do this. And I have learned so much recently about people who, if something has never been done, find a way to make it be able to be done, because where there's a will, there's a way, and God will make the path.
Right. Very true.
Just saying.
Yep. Just saying, you just have to let the Lord lead you in that. But I think he led you here so you could hear some ideas. So,
That's special.
well, you're special, Steve. I mean, we need to
Yeah.
help each other, and this is a hard time for all of us to even grow a business, because there's so much negativity about oils right now.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much they work on your body and on the people around you. And it was funny, I was at the school, and I was in a small little classroom, and one of the teachers came in, and she walked out and she walked back in, and she goes, "It smells great in here. I think it's you," she said. And I said, "It is. It's all my oils. I have to have them on because the kids are driving me nuts." But yeah, so I mean, it's amazing what you can, bring out with people, and just let people know that, hey, these oils really work, because
Yep.
people are
Yeah.
so negative about it right now.
Well, I don't know anything about the negativity. I'm far removed from that. I don't hear it. I don't even know what you're referring to, and I'm glad that I don't know.
I am too. Good.
That's a blessing.
Yep.
Exactly. Do you have any questions, Steve? Or do you have any ideas of what you want to work on, besides what we're talking about in the next couple weeks to move forward?
Off the top of my head, no. I will look on Facebook for some musician groups. I understand that you got to be really careful about that. You don't want to solicit anything, because you will get kicked out if whoever the moderator or whatever they're called feels
Administrator
like you're
is.
trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So got to be really cautious about that.
One of the thoughts that I think about with that is I want to build a relationship with them and just get to know them personally, and eventually have a good one-on-one video chat with them. And then, say, hey, you know what? I have something that might actually help you with that situation. Are you open to it? That's simple.
I've done that. It works, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, but
Hey.
it's like different people,
Sure.
Yeah, you just got to
Yep.
keep trying.
and not take it personally. We just talked about that too. Not taking
Yeah,
it
no, you can't
personally.
take it personal. No.
Nope.
Yeah.
They don't want to. They may just be saying that right now.
I've studied with Richard Bliss Brooke quite a bit, actually. And one of the big things I took away from him is, if you're fortunate enough to spend 30 minutes with someone and you get into an oil conversation, or scratch that. If you're fortunate enough to spend a certain amount of time, be it how long, is practice listening and ask questions to find out the most you can. And when you feel it might be time, enter into oils. And they probably know what you're doing and why you're there. And it may be someone you just meet but still, listen and ask questions and follow up with, get a phone number, get a whatever, and then follow up.
I don't think he needs to listen to the replay, Bonnie. I think he was auto-ly.
I think he was really already on and he wasn't showing his face. Yes, I think so too. Because that's what we talked about, is just being quiet and listening. That's a hard thing to do, to just be quiet and listen. But yeah,
It is hard.
it is. But we said, and just as you're saying this, the saying that came to my mind was, people don't, how is it? People don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
If you're listening, if you're listening and you're asking questions about them and not throwing out everything about you, they will respond much better, because people like to talk about themselves.
Exactly. I mean, just a few days ago, I'm 50 plus, and I met I met this young girl at a grocery store, 2 years ago, and stayed in touch with her. And she reached out, and she was having troubles with her boyfriend. And she wanted someone older, not her parents, she could talk to, and try and figure out, what to do, how to react, and so on and so forth. So I said, sure, yeah. And, we went to a park. It was a decent day. It wasn't too cold. And I used that practice of listening. You're talking to a woman about relationship troubles. Your opinion doesn't matter. I'm smart enough to have known that for a long time. So I just listened. And I made sure I had eye contact as much as possible, to let her know that I was listening, and just let her go on and on and on. Lasted for about 45 minutes, and when we were done, she said, wow, I just feel a lot better. And you didn't say anything hardly. I'm like, well, I'm here as a friend. Yep, I just wanted to be with you and let you know that I care.
You became a Stevens minister, and that's a huge deal, because most people do not give other people the time to just listen. And that's what, before I even started the call tonight with Bonnie, I'm like, we weren't going to record right away. I want to just, how are things going with you in your personal life before we get into any business stuff? Because that's why I like jumping on calls early and just saying hello and find out how things are going, because it's the personal one-on-one that I get to enjoy the most before we get into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was there like a speaker tonight, or is it just the three of us?
Nope, it was just the three of us.
You got the best of Young Living here, Steve. We're the best of Young Living.
Usually I was going to actually start having us watch the diamond calls, but as Bonnie and I have got to realize, we were enjoying the fact that we could just talk through the hour of different ideas and share from our hearts of what we've learned, and watching those videos on the side just to get the content of what we're feeling we need, and then sharing on the next call.
Right.
So that way people, when they watch the replay, they don't have to go through the video. They can just get to watch it some other time on their leisure. But we get to share what we got out of the video.
Right.
Okay.
So and then they can go back and watch it if they want, and then they can bring up questions if they decide to, join us again.
But needless to say, you were the first one we were like, okay, most people don't know what their needs are, and you were perfect on that whole scenario. And I was loving the fact that it just unfolded just right before our eyes, and anybody watching that plate is going to notice this too. So I was just like, thank you, Steve, for being the guinea pig, because most people do actually have a true passion in their heart for something that they just really love, that they can speak about, that just flows right out of their mind, and they don't even understand that that can be something that they can incorporate with the oils.
Right.
So there you go.
Good point.
Yep.
Well, I was telling Cricket a couple weeks ago, I don't know why, but I'm confounded about, with the new website and the new way you can only order if you want one oil and still be a member. But to get the 24% discount, you got to order 100. And I have issues getting into that with people unless they call me or text me or say, hey, I want this oil. Then I can say, look, hey, just go to the website, pick what you want, order it, put my member number down, and check out. And you'll get the oil in, a week or week and a half. And that's that. But I don't really, it makes me a little uncomfortable getting to that point if they haven't asked me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How do you all do it?
I feel when somebody is in need of a particular oil of some sort, I like telling them all the different options that we have.
Mm-hmm.
This is the things that you need, but this is how I started. And the reason why I started this way, because I got the kit was literally 50 is half off. Instead of getting the retail, if you're doing this, you're going to get half off. So I've given them many opportunities to say, okay, these are the different options. What do you feel comfortable with? Because it is down to them. Most people finally realize that the PSK is the best option. And then I'm there for them to help them with their oils and when they get them and stuff. So I guess I've really never had too much issue with it, because a lot of times the everydays are usually the ones that that person needs. It's very rare it's outside of the everyday oils. But that is a very good question, Steve. Bonnie, do you have any idea or what to share?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes.
Okay, because my internet I was flickering and then I was green and then I didn't know what was going on. So I don't know if my video was working, but I think like you said though, Deborah, you need to kind of give them options, different options. Going with a PSK, I think is, like you said, you're getting half off. You're getting a lot of product and you're getting the basic oils for your money's worth. So you're getting a lot of that. But I think if they only want certain things, then that's what you have to go with. You have to go with what they're saying.
Right.
Rather than trying to figure out exactly what they need, you have to just give them the options. Deborah, you're muted.
I know it was a busyness going on in our little house, so I was trying to give quietness because hubby was asking a question and I want to give him my proper attention for the moment while you were answering that awesome question.
All right. Because let's see if my video is, oh, look, I'm back. Ta-da! I don't know what was going on, but I was like, oh, it started again. So my internet is gonna go, so I'm gonna say
Yep.
goodbye.
Yep,
And
I'm gonna
we'll
say
see-
goodbye too, because it's been our hour has been up. It was great having both of you join us this evening, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. If you watch the replay, feel free to send me or text me your email or phone number, and I'll send you out the link so you could be right up where we're at. Thanks for watching, and have a great night, everybody.
Hey,
Bye.
send your
Thanks,
email
Deborah.
so we can
Bye.
return.
Yep,
All right. Bye, Bonnie. Bye.
bye.
Bye, see you.